Ice Cube and I had a back and forth, and he's a bright guy, and I respect what he's done. It's not my music. I don't come from the ghetto. It doesn't speak my language. And I said in print many times, hip hop does not belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, nor does opera, symphony orchestras. How come the New York Philharmonic doesn't get the rock and roll? Because it's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But he shot back and said, no, it's the spirit of rock and roll. Okay, fine. So Ice Cube and Grandmaster Flash and all these guys are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I just want to know when Led Zeppelin's going to be in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame.
Mm.
Oh, you can't do that. Oh, really? No. Music has labels because it describes an approach.
Mm-hmm.
By and large, rap, hip hop, it is a spoken word art. And you put, beats in back of it and somebody comes up with a musical phrase, but it's verbal. There are some melodies, but by and large, it's a verbal thing. It's rhyming and all that. And I know Eminem can go. I I wish him more success. I really don't give a fuck. It just doesn't speak to me.
Peace, 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 y'all. It is Marco Ja the man, Marco Ja the minor god, and on this short and on this reel, I want to talk about Gene Simmons from the Kiss band, talking about that rap/hip hop doesn't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He said it's not rock and roll, and he said he isn't from the ghetto, and he doesn't relate to the music, and it's just spoken word art form. And my response to that is that I'm disappointed in Gene Simmons, someone who is probably like almost 80 years old or is 80 years old, and he's showing his ignorance when it comes to hip hop. But when you do music, and I used to do music myself, you have a certain knowledge and respect for different art forms. But if you want to look at the history, rock and roll, it was music that was invented by black people. It was invented in the ghettos. It was invented in the country. Rock and roll came from blues. It came from R&B.